in terms of like the best talkers in the business right now, where do you kind of have MJF ranked at?
I have to say he's at the top because every time he does talk, I pay attention, and I'm over here trying to find ways to watch AEW, but he finds a way to make AEW find me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's like a reach that's like really hard to do. But when you do it right, man, it's a wonderful thing because you're gonna bring that attention to you. And then I'd say he's over. I think he's better than the Miz, way better. But I
Mhm.
think Miz would be number two. Then I have to put Roman because, hey man, one of my favorite Roman Reigns promos. I play it almost every other day. When he was going off on Brock Lesnar at that press conference, man.
Oh, got you.
So yeah, then it have to be Seth. Seth was pretty good at promos. And then I'll have to go from there, man. But if like probably like all time right now, I'll give him like a number five right now. We can see how he can work his way up. Because I definitely put him over Kurt. I definitely put him over Triple right now.
What? Wait,
But he,
wait, wait, wait. MJF is great, but ooh, when you start trying to measure him as with the greatest of all time,
yeah,
he deserves that. Don't get me wrong, but dang, that's a little tough. It's just hard for me to say someone like from the new era is better than Triple H at cutting
yeah.
promos. I don't know.
Here's the thing. MGF is such a good scumbag about talking. He kind of just eclipses what Triple H does. Triple H, though, I will say, if you ever need a life motivator, hey man, go listen to Triple H talking to Seth Rollins about being successful. Oh yeah, that'll make you get up and want to hit some push-ups.
Mm.
And then, but like I compare him to MGF, like it's kind of like a night and day transition. But is he better than Rock and Austin? No. Is he better than Flair? Debatable.
Oh, oh, I
Is
don't
he better than
know.
Sean when he's trolling? Possibly.
The
But what do you think?
the people gonna be on your head, I think, in the comment section. Better than well, I don't know. There's a lot of MJF fans better than Ric Flair. Ric Flair is practically
I
maybe the greatest of all time when it comes to speaking outside of The Rock. That's in my opinion. The Rock is the greatest of all time, but
mm-hmm.
Ric Flair is definitely top five, maybe even top three, maybe even top two. MJF and Ric Flair, that's a tough one. I feel
Yeah.
like MJF got to do it longer. MJF has to go come to the WWE to me. And to some people they may be like he doesn't need to, but I feel like he has to showcase his greatness with the parameters. But with being a part of the WWE, you also have a chance to be seen even more by the entire world. You have a bigger platform. So I would have to see it, but I don't know if I'm putting him over Ric Flair just yet. I can't do that. Ric Flair, I can't do it. I can't do Rick.
To me, that kind of translates to, yeah, you just made MJF sound like a SoundCloud rapper. Like, yeah, he's nice, but man, can you do it with the machine behind him?
He's great. It's like I just got to see him on the biggest stage. The WWE and AEW is two different levels, and the
Oh, yeah.
reason why WWE can't, the reason why it is more censored is because they have a lot more sponsors, and because it is just a different level. It's when people think pro wrestling, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna think the WWE before any other promotion. So
Motherfuckers would be like, hey, who? Hey, what? Hey, nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Who in there? Who in there?
I do got to say
What?
this.
What?
Yeah, I do
Kenny who?
exactly. I do got to say this though. When we're talking about the best talkers, if I'm gonna kind of limit myself to the WWE, I'm gonna limit myself to the WWE because I gotta really study the other promotions a lot more. But when I think about the WWE and I think about the best talkers currently, um, the funny thing is, I would say the best talker is not even a wrestler right now. I would say it's Paul freaking Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
I would say
Paul
it's Paul
Heyman.
Heyman.
You know who's also a really good talker right now?
Who?
MVP. MVP.
MVP, yeah, MVP's good too. Yeah,
Even though I despise this man's guts, I do like some Jeff Jarrett. And he in AEW right now.
yeah, yeah.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Let's say like those are some really good talkers that are around right now that are still kicking. I wish Rick would just assume his role as a manager, bro. Could you imagine Rick as a manager for your favorite wrestlers? He'd be killing it. Imagine Rick being a manager for like for Charlotte or Ronda.
The only tough part is about Ric Flair being a manager is that he seems so he's almost bigger than the manager role. Like,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
tough to even say because yeah, it's like because Paul Heyman, I look at Paul Heyman, he's one of the greatest of all time. He's definitely maybe top 5 greatest speakers of all time. But Ric Flair, if Ric Flair became a manager, I'm just trying to imagine. I think he could do it. Yeah, he could do it. He kind of did do it a little bit with Evolution. He wrestled too, but he was kind of like a manager, you could say, in a sense.
Oh
So,
yeah. Then in TNA, he didn't wrestle a lot, but he was in the I forgot what the faction was called, but it was the faction with all the pretty much the NWA guys, pretty much all the like the big timers. That even had AJ Styles in it.
mm.
And he was kind of like grooming AJ Styles to be the next Ric Flair. I remember that.
So yeah, Ric Flair definitely
And
could
then
do it. Yeah, he could definitely do it. He just kind of you have to
yeah.
put him around the right people. Like he'll have to be set up with someone that's big time though to me. Because then if the person, do you feel like Ric Flair can help build up a superstar?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. That superstar just needs to have the look and the skills and the way to make people pop off. Like I definitely give Ric Flair to somebody like Wardlow in AEW because Wardlow keeps getting the short end of the stick. But if he got Ric Flair, it wouldn't matter if Wardlow lost. He just keep building himself back into a good spot. Or Powerhouse Hobbs could use him, or if not Powerhouse Hobbs, let's just say for instance we gave. Imagine if my man's came back, Bobby Roode, right, and we
Mm.
gave him Ric Flair. Bobby can talk. He can wrestle. And then on top of that, we can have the storyline kind of writes itself if Ric Flair kind of slid in. Because he was already looked at as if kind of like a Ric Flair type wrestler. I mean, Ric Flair kind of guy. So you know what? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he could elevate somebody. Look what he did for Randy.
That's what I was just about to
Randy.
say. When I think about it, Randy,
Yeah.
Batista, even though it wasn't just him alone, obviously Triple
Yeah,
H
Triple
played a
was
big
there.
big part. Triple H was probably
Yeah.
the guy at that time, especially during that era and a part of that group.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and Ric Flair definitely could do it. I definitely when you brought up Bobby Roode, that WWE definitely missed the ball on him because when I think about his NXT days, I'm not gonna blame Triple because his NXT days, Bobby Roode was dope. Like he was during a time when I started really watching NXT, started really watching wrestling again, and Bobby Roode instantly stood out. And to me, I thought when he was going to make it to the main roster, he was going to be basically like a next Ric Flair type of wrestler,
Main event.
a main event star. And they dropped the ball on him. Had like Glorious, one of the best entrance songs. The fans bought into it, was sing along. Like, come on, like, how did we drop the ball on that WWE? I don't even understand.